Hi, Jayashree, and welcome to today's show of Radiant Realization with Namrata.
Hi, Namrata. It's a pleasure to be here, and I think I can't ask for more. It's always nice to talk to you.
And I like listening to you, and especially today when you're going to talk about self-love. I have seen, Jayashree, how this one concept of self-love has transformed your life. So let's go into this much detail.
I can definitely say my journey of the last 22 or 20 years has been like a homemaker who was always angry, bitter, hating everything around her, despite of giving like almost 12 to 14 to 16 hours sometimes at work, and yet as unsatisfied as ever. Because I think the only thing that was missing was loving myself. I was so hell bent on pleasing everyone, seeking validation, seeking appreciation, even for the normal upma that I've made. Oh, is it nice? Is it made well? And they would just look at me and they're like, yeah, normal. And I would be like, oh my God, I'm not done a good job. So I go beat myself again to do something better, because I lacked in self love. And the awakening that happened about, see, 2 years ago, I can say today I'm a new person. If you would have seen the old me, you could see me as a hyper person all the time, doing this, doing that, multitasking, taking pride in multitasking, and yet having sleepless nights, yet waking up fatigued, not showing up, not looking great in my own self. So for me, self love, because we are all domestic, see, domestic help, that is, or the domestic work that we do, is underestimated in the society. I can say that not for everybody, but in this urban society, domestic work is not considered great. It has no incentives. And somehow in that process, you also become a part of them. Instead of loving yourself and putting yourself out, drawing boundaries, you also become a part of that society. So
So,
I think,
Jayashree,
yeah.
yeah. So now, from homemaker, with this concept of self-love that you've built in your life, what
Mhm.
does it mean to you and how your daily life has changed?
It means everything to me, Namrata. It means as if I'm worshipping the goddess within me every single day. That is how I can provide everything else to others. It is not about being resourceful. It's about using the resources that are first available to you. It's about drawing those boundaries where you say, okay, today I will take my first cup of coffee and then I will serve others. It is about, if you've not really been able to wake up at a particular hour, you'll not burn out yourself by saying, oh, I'm late. Oh, let me do this. Oh, I'm late. Oh, why did I do this? No guilt. We all function from a place of guilt, and that's how we are built. That's our built actually. If one thing goes wrong in the morning, done, you start judging yourself from that particular moment. Oh, I'm not able to. Oh, my son's left without the food. Oh, the tiffin is here. Oh, I could not give hot tea to my husband. Enough, stop beating yourself. It's all right. The first thing that I would believe is be kind to yourself. The minute you are kind to yourself, instead of being right or wrong, there begins self-love. And somehow, Namrata, I feel most of the women I know around me, I see them and I'm like, oh my God, this was me. And if this was me, it's the most bitter woman I can see on earth. It has been very, very progressive for me. Somehow, when you are able to take care of yourself, you are able to take care of others. So if you love yourself enough, you're able to love your family. But if you are empty from within, what are you going to give others? Only bitterness.
Agreed, agreed. So, Jayashree, you said like this awakening happened few years back. Would you like to share one pivotal moment in your life where you realized that self-love is most important, not only for you as a person, but for you as a homemaker, because how it will impact your loved ones?
See, Namrata, a point comes in everybody's life where we know that something that we are doing is not right. Every day we get messages. We get messages in many forms. Maybe physical health, mental well-being, how you're behaving with others. Sometimes you're so mean with people, like you'll remove your anger on the house help, on your husband, on the neighbors, or maybe even when you're in the traffic, you'll be like, all the time, chalo bhaiya, kya kar rahe ho? You're doing all that. And there's one point you realize, what are you doing? So for me, there was this awakening when my health was deteriorating day by day. I was diagnosed with thyroid, low BP. I was putting on weight. And every time I looked in the mirror, I hated myself more. And every time I was going to bed, there was no deep sleep. It was all the time, sleep that, oh my God, I have to work. Work for what? No idea. Wake up for what? No idea. And I was realizing relationship between my husband and me was not working well. Relationship with my in-laws was not doing well. Even with my children, whereas I thought I'm the victim. I am doing everything for everyone, and yet I'm not getting anything in return. So that was my wake up call, or the pivotal moment where I was like, enough. What am I doing to myself? Was I born for this reason? Did I get a human birth for this reason? And slowly I started observing myself more. There was more awareness. And I should say, definitely say it is because of the help of my mentor that I actually got a path. But there was awareness. We all get this awareness. Sometimes our mess becomes our message. We just have to be aware.
Agreed, 100%.
Yes.
So, Jayashree, now you build in this concept of self-love, but I know the person that you are, you would never ever compromise on the responsibilities, like your responsibility to your husband, to your kids, to your in-laws. So, in
Absolutely.
this situation, how do you balance nurturing others and taking care of yourself as a homemaker?
See, Namrata, it's very easy. You have to take breaks. Initially, they will not accept it. Initially, people around you have seen you always available, right? You've always been available at the drop of a hat. But now, when you start taking very small baby steps towards yourself, say, I've been working for 1 hour in the kitchen, I take 15 minutes break. Maybe I distract myself with a walk. It's not distraction, it's regenerating yourself. Maybe some hobby I pick up, maybe listen to music, whatever suits you. So I take these small breaks in the entire day. I've gone far ahead now. I meditate whenever, because we all go through our lows, ups and downs. There are days when you really can't show up. You have your hormones impacting you, and at the same time, you want to nurture your family. You don't want to run away from your responsibility because you don't. That's not who you are, right? You don't want to have that empty feeling. So I think every time I get those bounds of, where I'm feeling that, I'm shaken up with a little bit of not showing up, I take a break. I communicate with them. I tell them how I'm feeling that day, what I would like to do. And initially, it was tough. It was tough for them to understand also. But now, if you see, it's become like a cakewalk. Everybody understands why, because when I take those breaks, I come back with more power, more energy, more enthusiasm, more happiness, more joy, more love. The minute it's like a fuel. You cannot run your vehicle without the fuel. You have to keep refueling. So when you keep refueling yourself time and again, you come back with more force. You come back and you enjoy your responsibilities. You want to do that work for them. You're singing and you're humming and you're serving. And that's how I've become.
So, one thing that I could sense, Jayashree, so for any woman, whether it's you, me, or any other person, there's never this thought that I don't want to support my loved ones, but it is that we are so overwhelmed with the responsibilities and the commitments that we, in subconsciously, we just start getting this feeling of hatred towards day-to-day chores.
Yes, yes. I think all of us have seen patterns from like our moms and grandmoms where they work the entire day, but they're all the time like, angry. Sometimes they are throwing vessels, sometimes they are removing their anger on someone, sometimes they overeat, sometimes they don't eat, so many such things. We've seen it all in our lives. We are the ones who should break this pattern by knowing that we choose to do this work. We don't have to do this work. We take 100% responsibility on us, not on the environment. It is never anybody who triggers it. It's our reaction to it. See, Namrata, the event will always remain the same. The house chores will remain the same. Your response, your reaction will tell you what the outcome is going to be. So when it's going downhill and you are composed and you say, okay, this is my responsibility. It's not that my husband didn't like the food. It's not that my son hasn't shown up for the meal. It's my responsibility. I choose to make the food. I choose to serve the food. It's all right. It's not a big deal. Not only in that, in all the things, we should stop being perfect. We should accept our flaws, that some days we can not show up in the best way. And if anybody is reacting, it's their, it's not your circus, not your monkey. Choose your battles. Honestly,
Choose your
choose your
battle.
battles. You don't have to be a part of everything that they say or do or they make you feel. You have to keep reminding something. So, you should actually have some pointers for yourself. And that's where self-love begins. Some affirmations for yourself. Whenever things are not going, you get back to them and you say, okay, I am taking this in my hand and I'm not going to let anyone decide how my day goes. In that case, you also come from a place or function from a place of love. Why? Because when you're full of self-love, you automatically don't think, you just don't hate anyone. You just don't hate anyone.
Agreed, agreed. Jayashree, you did speak about doing meditation, going for walk, and some other activities. So, how do you find time, especially the me time, for you to fulfill these activities?
Namrata, there was a time I was saying this, I have no time. I have no time. And I would go on ranting. I'm telling you, you know why this happens? One, we don't organize our day. Two, we want to juggle everywhere. And most majorly, three, because we are not happy, we are not productive. The minute we are happy in ourselves, we are productive, and we know that there are few things we can skip today. We can do it tomorrow. So you plan that day. You don't have to do everything on that very day. When you have to prove yourself and you're seeking for appreciation, you'll end up doing everything on that day. And prove whom, prove yourself, the person in the mirror first. That's where now when you know that you love yourself a lot, you will not hurt yourself enough. You will be like, no, wait, this one thing I can do it tomorrow. It's all right. I'll sit for my cup of coffee now. I'll take this break. It's all right. If everybody is still waiting at the table, 5 minutes more, nothing will go wrong. When you show up in your best energies, they'll enjoy that food. But if you're going to go in a rush and be in anger, they anyways won't enjoy it. So take that time out for yourself. And we all can. We all say we are too busy. We are never too busy. It's all about our priorities. Your priority should be you. The narrative that you tell yourself every day should be it's you versus you. It's nobody. And when you show up in your highest energies, I'm telling you, the world starts just working for you in the ways you want.
I'm really loving this conversation, Jayashree. So, like you said, it's you versus you, and showing up in highest energy. For you and me to show up in highest energy, one thing that I feel it is imperative is having a positive self-image.
Yes.
So, how did you build this positive self-image? Because the transformation that you've seen in yourself.
Namrata, it's every day, it's work in progress. You can't just see, you have to start learning. Anything that we all, whoever says now that we are born learners is just a scam, a myth. And whoever says we know everything is also a myth. Every single day you're learning from everything, maybe even from the tree in your garden, maybe from your child, maybe from whoever. We are all the time learning. We should keep our heart and mind open to learn. When we are at the stage of learning, God provides us with so much more that every second is like, a bulwan moment for us, every time, every minute. But when we start saying that I know it all and I'm functioning from a place like this, for me, the day, see, when I started, I remember my first course was with Pooja Puneet. I'm sorry, my first course was with Pooja Puneet, and I hated it. Day one, I hated it because everything she said, I know it all. And what is she even saying? Why is she even saying it? And day two, I was like, oh, she's already successful. She doesn't have to do housework. She doesn't have to do anything. So she's saying that. And day three, there was a very feeble change in me. Very, very feeble. But I'm telling you, that feeble change would turn into such a big tree I would not know. And then there was no looking back. I just went on and on and on learning. And till today, everything I see and do, I'm learning because now I'm hyper aware. I'm hyper aware of everything that happens around me. When you're hyper aware of everything, even the fan that's going on will teach you something and go. It's just that ways. So I think for everybody, I would really recommend that just start learning anything for that matter, whether it's in your kitchen, whether it's your home front, whether it's the relatives you have, whether it's your office, wherever you are right now. The minute you get, you just start practicing self love and learning at the same time. Grow your heart. I would say grow your heart.
Uh, yes, yes. So I think all this like small points really installs a positive image about ourselves when we look into the mirror.
Yes, yes. Oh, my day begins with that. I'm totally in love with myself. People think I'm crazy, but I'm madly, crazily in love with myself. From a time where we women, actually, when we see ourselves in the mirror, we'll be like, but my hair is not like this, but I have freckles because I was like this. Honestly, I was like this. And I hated my body. I was extremely fat. I was 25 kgs overweight. I hated my body. I hated the clothes I was wearing. And I hated women who were looking pretty. So I came from a place of jealousy, and I would be like, I just thought they were very shallow women. I didn't think them as, they are superheroes, must be working for themselves. No, I thought they were shallow because they looked pretty. And I felt, oh my God, my body fat, my weight. I was suffering from lack of confidence everywhere. So the minute you start admiring yourself, loving yourself, appreciating with all your flaws, with probably all your scars, your freckles, your wrinkles, because there's something way beyond or way inner than that. And that is what comes on your outer self when you love yourself enough. When you really have that self-love, you will see it shining on you. It'll not matter your body, your thighs, your freckles, nothing will matter because you're all the time in a place of loving. There's so much love to give. So it should be you first, you who you love. Then comes the world, and then the world will automatically love you. It's like a vicious circle. The more you love yourself, the more the world will love you, and it really happens. I am a live example. It really happens.
Excellent, excellent. I am the emotions are saying a lot, Jayashree, I would say. So when you started this journey of focusing on self-care and focusing on self-love, did you receive any resistance or a pushback from the loved ones? And how did you handle that?
Not only from the loved ones, Amrita, first from you, because you have a reptilian brain, right? So the minute you're doing something, the brain will say, no, don't do it. You'll fail. People will laugh. You lose people. And that is the first thing because when you are changing, there's a lot of resistance in you. Every minute, every walk that you're taking towards yourself, you're automatically taking it away from your people, right? Because it's towards yourself in that time at least. Later on, yes, it's towards them. But right now, every step you're taking towards yourself, you're going away from the rest. So it was a lot of, I can say, a lot of reprogramming yourself each day and each day telling yourself, oh my God, no, you're getting better at this. Okay, today he's upset with you. Oh, today you were not able to give him very hot tea. But tomorrow, when you're more productive, you'll be able to do things from a different place altogether. And I tell you, Namrata, it took me good 6 months to 1 year to reach there. But the day my son complimented me, he said, Ma, whatever you're doing, please continue. You're doing a fab job. And that was the biggest compliment I could get. And that's where the guilt that is built in me started diminishing. Because when you are working towards yourself, a lot of guilt comes in, right? The time that you were available for everyone, you're taking that time for yourself. And believe me, with time, you become even better at your work The energies that you're giving is better. The productivity is better. Everything gets, you are at your A game because you love yourself enough. So, yeah, you must at least take the first step. You have to at least begin to be somewhere. It's like wherever you are right now, start. Don't think how, don't think what if they. No, you have to start. You just have to use whatever you have around you. People will say, oh no, we don't get the time for 5. You can get 5 minutes to see even a small reel. Don't tell me you don't spend your time on Insta or on reels. We do that. You just have to remove that 5 minutes for learning. It's like do whatever you can. Don't give up. And I'm not saying from that place that don't give up. Don't give up when you are going to work towards your own self.
Mhm. Exactly, I get your point. So
Yeah.
don't give up on yourself, because by
Yes.
giving up on yourself, you're giving up on your loved ones also. That's the gesture. You did mention about a feeling of guilt as a homemaker, especially when you're focusing on yourself.
Yeah.
So how
Yeah.
did you overcome this guilt? Because guilt has very different energy, right?
Yes, yes, yes. And you know what? It is like a termite. It eats you from within. So I remember when I started taking these classes with my mentor. So obviously you're spending more hours there and less hours in the home front. So when I would come out of my room, I would start functioning from a place of fear. Now what will they say? Oh, I've not shown up today. Oh, I've made only one sabji today. Who would make three sabjis? So, you know, whatever I was doing, I was really getting very, very fearful and scared. But with time, I started seeing that there was one side in me that was getting productive. So I was able to learn and also cater to their needs, not in a great expanse, but in a quite a quality expanse. So it was not the quantity now. When you start taking these steps towards yourself, one thing that happens in you is your enthusiasm, your energy levels infects everybody in the house or everybody around you. It's so infectious that I started seeing changes in them. And I started wondering, how is this happening? And I got my answer in a very weird way that it was never about them. It was never about the people. It was about me. It was my energies that had to change. It was never about them. The minute I changed, they were changing, things were changing, and my guilt was reducing because I could see I was coming up in a more better way. I was not getting angry. I was not bitter. I was giving up on my past. You know, you hold because you're at a home front and you've lived in 22 years in the home front. There's so much exchange of negativity. You remember such stupid things. Oh, they didn't serve me food, or they didn't ask me for food, oh, I had to wake up, and you have all these, you know, memories. But when you are removing all those memories and deleting them, you are a better person, you're a fresher person, you're a new person, and you're coming from a place of a lot of love and joy. And so it was never them, it was me who had to change. And the minute I changed, my guilt no longer was there. I even they could notice that when I was serving, it was not, it was with more joy. You know, when I was working, it was not, it was like, okay. In fact, I was in love with everything that I was doing. It's all about love. It's very infectious now. That's very infectious. You need to do it to know it.
And I really loved the conversation that we just had. And to take this forward, Jaish, I would like to know a little bit more about how self-love helped you showing up 100% for your family members, and in the responsibility, the way you fulfill the responsibilities at home.
So, Namrata, when you know that you are living in a home front with a lot of different people with different mindsets, you are all the time trying to cater everybody's need, right? In that, you are emptying yourself. Every time a piece of you is also going, and then you start feeling very unfulfilled because you feel in return nothing is coming to you. So, the first concept that I changed was this. I started coming from a place of giving, but with boundaries. So when you're doing it with boundaries, you're not getting bitter. I'm telling you, initially it took some time for them to understand, but when they saw me more joyful, and the surrounding more happier, the environment more better. They just started accepting. It was me who was thinking that they not accept. It was never, it was just, it's always about us. It is you who can make a house a home, like a meal a celebration. Like it's like you can make a gathering a feast. It's all about you. And they have given so much responsibility on you that you start feeling, oh my God, I am only doing everything. Nobody is doing anything for me. You take responsibility of everything, because whatever you're doing it for your own convenience, never for them. See, when you want to go somewhere and do something, you'll quickly finish your work. Oh, I have to catch up with my friend for a coffee. I have to do you. We all do it, but when it's about them, we'll say, "Oh, I don't have time only for anything else in this world." And whenever I felt that I was, there are days when you don't show up in your best energies. So those days, I seek help, Namrata. I take help. I take help from people like you. I take help from my friends. I take, breaks. I go for coffees. I remove time for pampering, which earlier used to feel when I used to go to the spa or something, I used to feel, oh, I'm going to look good. No. Now I know I'm going to take that time out for myself to get back. It's for the refueling. Earlier it was, my God, so much money on the nails, so much money, Now it is like I like to invest that money because I know this is mine, this is me time. So you have to invest that me time in whatever suits you. See, for me, maybe the spa suits, for me, coffee with a friend suits, for me, calling up a friend who, would be at a better energy that day that I can seek help for. For me, listening to a lot of mentors suits. So you have to decide what is, you might like sports, you might like swimming, you might have other hobbies, you might like reading. You just have to choose that.
Got it. Got it.
Yeah.
Rishi, you did mention about setting boundaries. So would want to know more from you. How did you set boundaries? How did you make it comfortable for others while setting boundaries?
So I think communication is a skill. And with these courses, I learned how to communicate. Earlier, it was like, you guys don't listen to me, y'all don't clean the room, y'all are always shabby. Now it was like, can y'all do it? When will be the best time? Can y'all do it? Like, and they could see the changes. Instead of me telling my husband that you're always late, I'll be like, when can you remove that 10 minutes? I just need to talk to you. So when your communication skills change, you can draw boundaries with ease, very, very comfortably. I live in a joint setup and I have grandmother-in-law, I have my in-laws. Earlier, my conversation with them would be a little more strong, like, yes, what do you want? Till when do you want? Now I'll be like, today I'm able to only one thing. Is it okay with you all? I'm a little occupied today. Can I take time out for myself? And believe me, nobody says no. It's all about your communication. And with communication comes boundaries. You'll be able to say no when you're able to convey it well. I don't believe anymore in setting boundaries by being angry and screaming. No, I believe in setting boundaries by being nice and kind and communicating in the right way.
And how did they take it?
Very well, extremely
Wow.
well. They are supporting me so beautifully. I can't tell you. It's a blessing. I'm telling you, Namrata, I was functioning from a place where I thought they don't support me, they don't mean well for me, they don't take care of me. It's only when I change, I can see the entire scenario is changed. You have to change your energies, you have to forgive. We never forgive, we never heal, we never move on. We always go, 2 साल पहले मेरी एनिवर्सरी भूल गए थे, 2 साल पहले मम्मी ने विश भी नहीं किया. अरे, it's all right, we're all human. And you're holding all this in yourself. You're not holding it there. So, in your closet, you have so much. For what? For what joy? When you release of all this, you become lighter. When you forgive, I'm not saying you forget the wrong that has happened to you. I'm not saying just forget and become great. I'm just saying forgive for your own good. Forgive so that you are lighter. Bigger things happen to us. It happens to all of us. But the minute you start forgiving, you're not releasing them, you're releasing yourself from them. It's a beautiful way to heal. And when you're healing, everything becomes easy. They start accepting you because you have healed. You're no more working from a place of, bitterness or hatred or poison. You're working from a place of a lot of kindness.
Which is evident in your conversation and in your excitement. That your journey of transformation is really visible in
Yes.
each and every word that you said. So, Jayshree,
I would,
like,
Namrata, want to add that do it for yourself. Like the transformation you say is inevitable, but you have no idea how much it has helped me as a human being. I can say I'm living my life now. It's like I'm just born. That transformation is so huge for so many years, whether I was, at my mom's place or my in-laws place. I never functioned with full capacity. Now I know what it is to live at your highest potential. You don't become only smart, you become resilient. You have empathy. So I would really, really want every one of us, like all the homemakers, because since our work is so monotonous, so boring, and we're all the time with the same people around, for us, it's very, very important to love ourselves enough so that if the environment doesn't change, at least our reaction changes so that our outcome changes.
okay. So any self-love affirmation that you would have practiced in your journey?
Oh, a lot of them. The most important one was the exterior one because I didn't love my body, right? So that was the most important one when I started loving myself. Like I started all the time saying that, I'm valuable. I'm flawless. I'm beautiful. And the more you keep on saying this, and these are the affirmations that you should actually be saying to yourself all the time, that you are flawless and you don't have to be perfect. In your imperfections, find the perfect. And there are a lot more affirmations that I use, like, although I know a lot is available on Google and all, but some things that really resonate with me is in my daily life. So, whenever things are not going great, the first affirmation that comes to me is like, oh my God, you're so beautiful. And it's all right if you're imperfect. It's all right. Just love yourself so much because there's no one better than you. This universe has, place for you. So, I think affirmations come from within. I somehow cannot follow what comes on Google and all. For me, every day I have so many self-love affirmations. I'm valuable. I'm enough for myself. I'm aligned with the universe. I'm calm that I know universe has my back. There are so many more.
And it just shifts your energy. So when you listen to affirmation, you feel you getting transported in a different planet.
And Namrata, I feel I follow the Mel Robbins 5 second
Wise.
rule. So that works wonders for me. And also, I honor my needs. So, what happens in all this now? Sometimes we burn out. I'm not saying I'm perfect. There are days I really burn out. That day, I really honor my needs. I honor that I'm not feeling too well today. I honor that I'm not able to come or show up at my best energies. So I respect that feeling that day. So these affirmations that I value myself, I honor myself, I take good care of myself, I love myself enough. Very simple, very small ones, very small affirmations, but they work like magic.
Yes, I totally get you, and I could resonate how much that would have helped you become the person that I'm seeing today.
Even a small thing, say it's a very small thing, I'll do in a day, I celebrate it. I celebrate my achievements, and that one thing I do it really well. Like very small, if suppose on a given day where I could not show up and I managed to make a meal and still be on the phone with my mom and look after my daughter, what she's saying, I just celebrate myself. I don't take them as small wins. These are very big wins. We take them as small wins. No, they are very big wins. To show up is amazing, especially with our hormones acting up on weird days.
Hmm.
So just appreciate
Yes.
yourself enough. Don't wait for anyone to appreciate you. Please.
Definitely, I'm going to take this and I'm going to use this as a magic word to appreciate myself. Okay, so Jayashri, you did speak about seeking support
Yeah.
from friends and family. How
Yes.
do you seek support from others that who would encourage you, who would validate your feeling, who would support you in your journey? So how do you find this support network and how do you lean on this support network?
I believe in always having a guru. You should always have a mentor because time and again we are posed with a lot of things where we might feel we are at a dead end and we don't want to reach there. After so much transformation, we don't want to reach there. So, according to me, all of us should really consider having a mentor, having someone you look upon to, let it be a guru or whoever you follow, listen. And at the same time, when you are, say, I was in Puja Punit's, so now I'm in a sister verse, I'm in a goddess verse. So there are women of the same frequencies. So there are times when you listen to someone like, I see you, you're unstoppable. Like I've seen you for so long and it's amazing. So I know someday when I need help, I know whom to contact, I know whom to talk to. There are so many women I have met in this journey who I know are a call away. And I seek support. It's brave to seek support. So I really go ahead and I say, oh, today I'm not feeling my best. I don't come from a place of judgment that time because there are people who call me too, right? You
Yes.
never come from a place of judgment at that time. You just have to be there, and sometimes you just want a listener, and sometimes you want to hear. I think it's a ripple effect also. When you start connecting, automatically you start connecting to a lot more of such people.
Hmm. Hmm. Yes.
Mhm.
Okay, so Jayashree, I would say you've made a good progress on shifting your mindset from self-doubt to self-acceptance. So
Yes.
if today one advice you would have to give to other homemakers who are into self-doubt phase of their life, what would you say to them?
I think homemakers should understand that whatever they are doing is just not a domestic duty, it's an art. Homemakers are the artists because they are good at everything. Let it be culinary, let it be interiors, money management. So they should not think themselves anywhere inferior than the other women who are working. You know, first rise up to that level because in all you'll have done the maximum PhDs in everything, whether it's nurturing the house, growing up a child, whether it's home science, whipping up the right ingredients for a healthy meal, making the best out of waste. So please just value yourself so much more because you're not the best artist that God could have created. You just imagine without a homemaker what a home would look like.
Only four
So
walls, probably.
yes, so my advice is please, please love yourself so much more and know that you're love worthy, you're love valuable, you're love appreciated, and you're love enough for yourself.
Super, super amazing, Jayashree. Super amazing. One more thing that I would like to know from you is how self-love has helped you manage your emotions. Like hormones, they just play havoc, and the outcome is emotional uphill, right? Sometimes you are high, sometimes you are low.
Yes.
So how this self-love concept helped you maintain your stability, the highs and lows of hormones and other physical thing that happens in our body?
Namrata, we really need to learn the art of being kind. Kind not to the world, to ourselves. To begin with, like you said, we all have our days, we have our hormones acting up, but earlier you who didn't know to be nice or kind to yourself, you would beat up yourself and you would go on saying, I'm not okay, I'm not well, I'm not whatever, you would go on with that and you would say, oh my God, I'm not okay, and still I have to manage everything, I have to do everything. Now, when you're hyper aware and there's self awareness, you really take that time out for yourself. Do things that make you happy, and happy means really happy. do whatever, and then don't be in a guilt. Supposing, today I'm in a mood of just going and shopping, and after I've shopped, I'm feeling guilty. Stop. You don't have to beat around. It's all right. It's okay. Just be nice to yourself. And see, one thing that you cannot control is your hormones. But the next thing that you can control is the proximity that they will affect you.
Hmm. Hmm.
When you do things that mean well to you, you'll see your body changing. I'm telling you, 2 years ago, my hair would never grow, my nails would only break, and every day I had this some kind of skin itching and all that. Can I tell you, I don't know how science must have proved or maybe proving. Can I tell you, after my transformation, my hair is grown, my nails are stronger, my itching has reduced to a large extent. So, what your inner being is will be your outer being. Your hormones are only going to impact you as long as you want them to impact you. You will have to start understanding that hyper awareness is not only that what the neighbor is doing or what is happening in the world. Hyper awareness is where you are beginning as a human, how you starting your day, what kind of rituals are you doing, to make what kind of there are so many rituals around these areas, right? Namrata, we practice
Yes, yes,
gratitude.
yes.
Nobody understands the science of gratitude, but oh my god, it has immense effect. Immense. There are so many such rituals that you can follow and things change. One thing about hormones and body is that they change. It's all here.
Agreed, agreed. Okay. So, last thing that I would like to know from you, Jayashree, is if you can share some rituals around self-love, self-compassion, self-acceptance that has
Yeah.
really helped you.
Yeah.
Gratitude, I know it has helped me, and it's that is like a
Yeah.
magic wand.
Exactly. And
Anytime.
think people should be more aware because I come from a place where first I think that it was like what to thank for, what is there to thank for? I mean, what to thank for the sun? It's all right now. ये तो रोज का है. We've never been taught from childhood. We've been taught to say thank you, but why? How? Never. And over time, the thank yous also have gone. Now, when you're genuinely grateful for everything and you're all the time in sync, so even if the worst of things will happen, you remove something good out of it, which will work well for you. Gratitude has played such a huge role for me. I know everything that happened to me so far in my life. I am so grateful. If not for those, I would not be this. So definitely, my first ritual of the day starts with expressing gratitude. I write a lot of gratitude affirmations, and I have mindful self compassion for myself. It's mindful. I things we do mistakes, right? Sometimes there are big mistakes, great mistakes, small mistakes. What we do? अरे यार गलती हो गई अरे यार गलती हो गई अरे I did this, oh my god, I did this. No, we have to be mindfully self-compassionate with us. How easily we forgive others when they do, they hurt you and you'll be like, it's okay, it's okay. But when we do that, nahi yaar, how could I do that? So mindful self-compassion is very, very important. Healthy boundaries. You have to have healthy boundaries around whatever you're doing. In healthy boundaries, I again say you don't have to be bitter. You just have to communicate well. When you follow this ritual of healthy boundaries, you will see changes happening day in and out around you, in you, with you. And I think meditation, if you can, meditation need not be only closing eyes, and meditation can be in any form. Just looking at the trees, just going for a walk, just being in your inner being, just being very, very mindful about what thoughts are recurring in your brain. And when they are recurring, how much you're able to find the goodnesses in you. That's a very, and that's a magical, I can say it has worked like magic because every time one thought would get stuck here and I would on repeat mode say that, say that, say that, and it would burn out. Like I would really feel exhausted. Now I know I have to change my thought. I immediately change it and then I'll go on saying better things. Oh my God, today you woke up so beautifully. Oh my God, the coffee was so good. Anything that comes, the smallest of things, but I start changing my dialogues with myself. So that's one ritual everybody should, the narrative that you tell yourself. And I think you should know that whatever you're doing is not the destination. It's a journey. It's a everyday journey. You don't have to go to the last page of the book and say, oh, it's over. No. You have to enjoy every page of your life. So you should not waste any minute on anybody else other than yourself. Just be so self-obsessed in a good way that all you see is yourself and so much. I'm not saying that you have to be selfish. In no ways I'm saying show up where you have to show up, be there for whom you have to be there. But by then, always travel back inside. Go back into you. Just be so madly in love with yourself that you don't need anyone to love you. You don't need any validation, any appreciation from anybody else.
Agreed, agreed. Definitely. Lot of insights you've given, Jayashree, and I'm going to definitely put them to practice. One thing that I really loved was you said that you are able to drop that thought, because otherwise it would just keep on playing in a repeat mode, and you don't know when it ends. Dropping a thought is, I think, one of the greatest achievement any human being can do.
Yeah. I follow the 17-second rule. Any
Okay.
thought they say more than 17 seconds becomes a pattern.
Hmm.
So what happens is when you have a negative thought for more than 17 seconds, then there'll be a second negative thought. Then there'll be a third one. And you'll see everything goes out of place. Like suppose your day started with the milk spilling, and then you're upset with that, you're cleaning, and then there'll be suddenly that the maid is not coming today. Then there'll be a third thing. Then so it becomes a pattern. So when any thought that comes to you, you don't let it linger on more than 17 seconds. You create a timeline that not more than 17 seconds. The minute you stop before 17 seconds, you'll see the change in you. You all must try it. It works.
Amazing. So two rules you shared. One is 5 second rule by Mel Robbins, and second is the 17-second
It-
rule. Amazing. Jayashree, I would say you are a treasure house of what it means to have a self-love and how to inbuild self-love in our life. I think this conversation would never end. We can just keep on talking about
I know,
self-love.
I know. There's so much love that I can go on and on and on. Yes, yes. But you are doing an amazing job, Amrita. Really
Thank
amazing.
you. Thank you
Yeah.
so much. And thanks for coming, Jayashree. Thanks for sharing all your responses were really heartfelt. It just came out of your deep, deep heart's desire to share what it means to have self-love and how it has helped you. The way it has helped you, I know anybody who is going to view this, it is going to help us and it's going to transform their lives too.
I pray it upon them. I really pray because I know now how it is to live a beautiful life. I can tell you by all means, things come and they come every day, Namrata. But your response to it defines you. So I really pray this upon everyone who's hearing it. May you love yourself so much that there's never lack of love.
Yes. Thank you, Jayashree. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much. Thank you, Namrata. Thank you for having me.